So, what happens when a guy who seems to have it all suddenly realizes it means absolutely nothing? That's really the heart of Robin Sharma's book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. It's this incredible fable about what happens when you have to lose everything to find out what true success really is. And for our main character, that journey starts with a bang, or, well, a collapse.
So, let me introduce you to Julian Mantle. This guy is a legal superstar. I mean, he's at the absolute top of his game. And then, just like that, in a split second, his whole world comes crashing down. He has a massive heart attack right there in the middle of a packed courtroom. You can't get a bigger wake-up call than that. It was the moment the whole illusion of his perfect life just shattered.
So who was this guy, really? Julian Mantle. I mean, on the surface, he was the poster child for success, a legal warrior, had the world at his feet. But, as we're about to see, what was going on behind the scenes was a whole different story.
And this, right here, is the core of Julian's problem. You've got this huge gap between the image and the reality. Outwardly, oh yeah, he had all the toys. The seven-figure salary, his own private jet, that flashy red Ferrari. But the reality behind that shiny veneer? His marriage was over, his health was shot, and the spirit, well, the book says it was flickering out. And that's the perfect way to put it.
And this quote just hits it right on the head, doesn't it? Julian had climbed all the way to the top of the mountain, only to realize he'd picked the wrong mountain entirely. All that external stuff, all those possessions, they brought him zero internal peace. He was just empty inside.
So after this massive heart attack, Julian does something drastic. He just disappears, sells everything, yep, even the Ferrari, and just vanishes. Then 3 years go by, and he shows up again, but he's not the same person, not even close.
Okay, so let's just trace this journey real quick. At 53, he hits rock bottom with a heart attack. That pushes him to sell everything and go on this soul-searching trip to India. And then, when he finally comes back 3 years later, the change is so dramatic, it's almost hard to believe.
I mean, the transformation was just staggering. The guy who left looked like he was 70, all wrinkled, stressed out, and just full of anxiety. The guy who came back, he looked like he was in his 30s. He was radiant, fit, and just had this incredible aura of peace around him. He literally looked decades younger. So the big question is, how on earth did that happen?
Well, Julian's secret came from this mysterious group of monks he found living way up in the Himalayas. They were called the Sages of Savannah, and they taught him their system for an enlightened life, all built around 7 timeless virtues.
And this is the question that really drives the entire story, right? What in the world did he learn up in those mountains that could so radically change a person? Not just in their mind, but physically and spiritually too.
And you know what's crazy? The answer wasn't some boring, complicated philosophy textbook. The sages had boiled down all their wisdom into one single, kind of strange, but totally unforgettable story, a mystical fable.
And the elements in this fable are, well, they're memorable, that's for sure. Each one of these weird symbols stands for one of the 7 virtues. So you've got this lush garden, which is your mind. There's a huge lighthouse, that's your life's purpose. Then this giant sumo wrestler appears, representing constant improvement. He's only wearing a pink wire cable, that's self-discipline. He finds a golden stopwatch, a reminder to respect your time. And then, through some fragrant yellow roses, he learns about serving others, which finally leads him down a path of sparkling diamonds, the joy of living right here in the present moment.
Okay, so let's dig into that first virtue, because it's really the foundation for everything else. According to the sages, if you can't get a handle on your own mind, forget about the rest. It all has to start right there, in the garden.
This idea of the garden is such a powerful way to think about your mind, right? If you tend to it, if you plant good thoughts, positive ideas, and you nurture them, it's gonna flourish. But if you just let it go, and you let all those weeds like worry, fear, and negativity take over, your inner world is just gonna wither away.
And the sages were not messing around with this. They said you literally cannot afford the luxury of even one single negative thought. Think about it.
One negative thought is like a toxic seed. If you let it, it can grow and poison the entire garden of your mind. So this isn't some fluffy, feel-good idea. It's an absolute necessity.
Now get a load of this number. The average person has something like 60,000 thoughts every single day. That's 60,000 chances to either plant a flower or to let a weed grow.
But here's the part that'll really blow your mind. Of those 60,000 thoughts, a whopping 95% of them are the exact same thoughts you had yesterday. The book calls this the tyranny of impoverished thinking. We're basically trapped in these mental loops, thinking the same negative, repetitive stuff day in and day out.
So the first big lesson is crystal clear. You have to take control. You have to become the master of your own mental garden. Because if you don't, your mind, with all its worries and anxieties, it will absolutely master you.
So how do you actually do this? Well, the sages taught this really simple but powerful concentration technique called the heart of the rose. All you do is find a rose, go somewhere quiet, and just focus all your attention on its very center. Notice everything about it, and whenever your mind starts to wander, which it will, you just gently bring your focus back. See, it's not really about the flower, it's like a workout for your attention muscle.
Here's another amazing technique they taught. It's called opposition thinking. The idea is so simple. Your brain can only hold one thought at a time. So the second you catch a negative thought, one of those weeds, popping up in your mind, you consciously and immediately replace it with a positive one. You literally crowd out the darkness with light. So what does this all boil down to for you and me? Well, mastering your mind isn't just some neat philosophical trick. It's the practical, essential first step on the entire path the sages lay out. It's the key that unlocks all the other virtues you need for a truly amazing life. And if you take away only one thing, let it be this. The quality of your life is a direct result of the quality of your thoughts. Your outer world is just a mirror reflecting your inner world. So if you want to change your life, you have to start right here, by changing the thoughts you allow to grow in the garden of your mind.
Which brings us to a really important question for you. If your mind is a garden, what weeds have you been letting grow in there? What's that one repetitive, negative thought, that worry, that fear, that little voice of self-doubt that you are going to decide to pull out, starting right now? You know, mastering the mind is just the very first step on this incredible journey. But as this amazing quote from Patanjali reminds us, it's the step that unlocks everything else. When you learn how to direct your thoughts towards something great, something bigger than yourself, you awaken these hidden forces and talents you never even knew you had. You discover that you are a far greater person than you ever dreamed you could be.